Hey everybody, Josh here. So when it comes to desk mats, there are tons to choose from. Different materials, different colors, and even different sizes. But how do you decide which one is right for you? Well, you've come to the right place. I have a bunch of different desk mats from Grovemade, and I'll talk from my experience about how to choose the right desk mat for you. Now, one of the most important things to consider when it comes to a desk mat is material. Let's start with the wool desk mat. The best thing about the wool desk mat is definitely the cozy vibes that it gives off. For me, a wool desk mat just looks really inviting and warm on a desk, and it just has that really homey vibe. Wool desk mats also have really amazing sound dampening properties, so any peripherals that you put on top of your wool desk mat are gonna sound a lot quieter. Wool also just really feels nice and soft, which means that putting tech on top of it feels nice and safe. However, that also means that it won't be great for writing. Also, one thing I've noticed with the wool desk mat is that it does tend to slide around a lot since it doesn't have that cork bottom, but I feel like this could be solved if you had some sort of anti-slip pad underneath. Also, wool isn't 100% water resistant, so when it comes to putting drinks on here or spilling things, if you spill anything other than water on your wool desk mat, it's gonna be a little bit gross. As far as using your mouse goes, wool wouldn't be my first choice for competitive gaming, but for the everyday user, it works fine. It does have a bit of resistance and sometimes frayed hairs get stuck in the optical sensors, but for the most part, it works. Now, despite all of these compromises, wool is definitely my favorite desk pad, and I love this light gray color. All right, next up we have the matte desk mat. Now, this is a much harder material right off the bat. It's also a lot stiffer and heavier. It doesn't slide around, right? It has that cork bottom. It also performs really nicely with the mouse, so it glides really easily. Also, the matte desk mat is gonna be the most durable out of all three, so it doesn't matter if you spill some coffee or some sugary drinks on here, you can pretty much just wipe it off. And I found that pretty nice for if I ever need to clean the desk mat, I don't need to worry about what I'm spraying on here. Honestly, there's not really any cons to the matte desk mat. They're a good surface to write on. They're pretty cheap, inexpensive, and they look sleek and modern as well. Oh, and here is a quick sound test with the keyboard. And last but not least, we have the leather desk mat. This is gonna typically be the most expensive option out of the three, but with that price, you do get that elegance that you don't get with the other two, not to mention the smell. Now, with leather being a natural material, there's sort of some things to look out for. So for one, moisture, you definitely want to keep drinks and just condensation away from leather to keep it from rotting and getting gross. Also, you probably want to keep this out of direct sunlight to keep it from drying and cracking. But for the most part, if you just keep it nice and well maintained, it should last you a very long time. Not to mention, if you do get the brown leather desk mat, it will age nicely and patina really nicely, which some people are gonna love. As far as mouthfeel goes, it's not gonna be as glidey as the matte desk mat, but I'd say it is pretty similar to how the wool one feels. Definitely aren't gonna be dealing with frayed hairs getting in the sensor. Writing also feels great on the leather desk mat. Here's a quick sound test. Okay, now what about size? And size is definitely one thing that a lot of people tend to overlook when it comes to desk mats, but is probably the most important thing to consider. When it comes to desk mats, bigger doesn't always mean better, and in my experience, I actually prefer having a smaller desk mat as sort of an accent to my desk, like not taking up the entire desk, and also just the portability factor. So if I ever need to remove it or swap it out or clean underneath it, having a smaller desk mat just really helps with that kind of thing. Okay, so the leather and the wool desk mats that I have in front of me are actually the small size. So this is the smallest offering that Grovemade has. And in my opinion, this is perfect for having like a Magic keyboard and then having a trackpad or a mouse on the side. So this is the medium size. It's about the same width as the other desk mats, but as you can see, much longer. This is great if you have maybe a mug on the side, or if you want a surface to write on. This is the large desk mat. Really, the number one tip that I can give you guys here is just to get a measuring tape out and really measure your desk and figure out how big of a desk pad you actually need. Color is one of those things that is totally subjective. Honestly, just pick something that goes with your desk color, your peripherals, and just your overall style. Like, do you want it to feel a little bit lighter with a gray desk mat, or do you want it to feel a little more serious with a black desk mat? If you're feeling stuck, maybe just go on Instagram and look at some photos for inspiration. Grovemade have also recently added a bunch of different colors when it comes to their wool and matte desk pads, so you can definitely find one that you like. Okay, I hope this video helped you out. I will leave links to all of the desk pads down below, and if Grovemade is out of your price range, I'll also leave alternatives on Amazon in the description. I know I talked a lot about Grovemade in this video, but they are not sponsoring this video. I just like their products and I think they're pretty well made. But yeah, please consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already. Like the video on your way out, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.